Okay, so now that we're crystal clear on what manufacturer to customer incentives are, most likely, you'd already have some familiarity with that if you've watched TV or read the newspaper and you see the different advertisements. They're
They advertise in the paper?
well,
Sorry.
we're dating ourselves.
Yes.
It's 2020. Now we're going to talk about something that's a little less known to the buying public, which are manufacturer to dealer incentives and
Yes.
how they impact
Yes.
selling price.
And manufacturer to dealer incentives could be as simple as establishing a sales goal, a new car sales goal for a new car franchise for a particular month or a particular quarter, and that if you hit it, you get X amount of dollars per car that had been sold. Or it could be a model specific sales goal that's set up, or a model specific incentive that's set up for the dealer. So if you sell a Mazda 3, there could be an incentive on that, but not on the Mazda 6. So there are manufacturer to dealer incentives. The time that they really come into play the most, where it will benefit you, is if you're buying a car at the end of a month, because if they're close to hitting their objective, then there's a stronger likelihood that they can discount the car further in order to hit that objective.
And as we go throughout this section, we're going to really dive into the timing, end of month, end of quarter, end of year.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. But to your point about, the manufacturer, either on the total volume or for specific units, you've shared anecdotes and stories with me. This permeates throughout all sales roles. And what I mean by that is there are benefits for salespeople. If you
Yes.
sell certain units or cars, there are benefits for salesmen. I mean, the whole dealership has
Yes.
potentially...
The sales department in the dealership has a stake in it.
And like we talked about earlier on in dealership operations, factory incentives really are the fourth way that the dealership makes money. We broke it out into three, really, because we said, there's sales, which
Yes.
doesn't make a lot of money. There's parts and service, which we combined to one. And then we added on the fourth, really the third, factory incentives. These can represent...
And don't forget F&I.
Yeah, well, that's part of sales.
Yes.
These can represent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars over the course of a calendar year.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's the manufacturers have put themselves in the position where they have basically said to the dealers, you're not going to be making your profit off of your customers, you're going to be making your profit off of us for hitting the sales goals that we've set for you.
And so one of the things to be really clear about here, Dad, would be different websites that talk about, what a great price is to buy a vehicle. So for example, I'm speaking to like a TrueCar that says, an unbelievable deal was had at $28,000 when all the other ones were selling for $31,000. The primary reason why that one was sold at $28,000 is probably because it was the one deal that moved that dealership up over whatever their kicker threshold was to get these factory
Exactly.
dealer
It was
incentives.
worth whatever loss they took to get the rather substantial gain of hitting the objective.
And so if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I want to be that person that gets the unbelievable deal,
Good luck.
You need to find the dealership that sold 99 out of the 100 that they need, and also it's the end of the month, and all, check all the boxes, and yes, you're going to get that discount, because they might lose $3,000 on you to net out the $100,000.
Yeah.
And you've experienced that.
Absolutely.
You've done that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess the final point I'll make, Dad, if you can speak to it, is these are not publicly available. You're not going to be able to Google search, what is Audi of Birmingham's, factory to dealer incentives this month.
That is correct. The only way you're going to find out is if you ask and if the dealer actually shares that information with you. But the way you can find out is if it's at the end of the month and you just walk in and say, hey, I understand you have month-end sales goals set by the factory that will get you rather large incentives. How close are you? How many more car deals do you need? I could be that car deal that puts you over.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they'll tell you.